Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my show, the Engelic Show. I am your host, Engelic. Boss. Hold up. Redo it. I forgot. I had to. I keep renaming myself. So.
Oh, you get different names.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
I'm good with that.
I'm sorry about that.
That's
sorry.
all right. I like that.
I am your host, Angelique. Lady E. Everett. This episode is my Getting to Know EP. I am thrilled and got the opportunity to sit and chat with an amazing friend, Mr. Bradford Watts.
Hi, Angelique.
Good to have you.
Good to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. He is an associate vice president, community relations, and I don't know if I'm correct or not. Is it DEL or DEI?
DEI.
Oh, okay. You heard that, my viewers. It's DEI.
Mm-hmm.
Hi, Brad. Nice to have you on my channel. It's a pleasure to have you.
Oh, it's a pleasure to be here. Always good to see you in the community, and very grateful and humbled to be a guest on your show.
Thank you. So, tell me about Brad.
Well, you know me quite well. We've known each other for a few years, but I've been a 20 plus year employee with People Inc. I am born and raised Buffalonian, proud to always say that, and spent most of my formative years here in the Buffalo region. I spent some time doing my undergrad and studies in Atlanta, Georgia, at the historic Morehouse College, but came back to my roots in Buffalo to continue my advanced degree in multidisciplinary studies of communication, getting my master's degree in arts in that.
Ooh, okay.
Love my family, my wife of over 26 years come tomorrow.
Wow.
Wanda, beautiful daughter we have, and two beautiful grandchildren. They keep me busy as they are now teens, so trying to keep up. And then loving my job. It was a great mantra here, where your world opens up. People Inc. did open my world up. Meeting amazing folks like yourself. Currently in my role, I am now overseeing not only our community engagement, community relations, with supporting the DEI initiatives of the agency, but also our advocacy department.
Got to have advocacy.
Absolutely.
So, how are you liking your new role, and what do you do?
It's been something that's been a continued addition to the role I've played now about 20 years of community relations. I engage with many of our advocates like yourself, entrepreneurs like yourself, the list goes on, but also amazing people that are doing wonderful things in our communities, as well as those that are continuing to grow and develop in areas of their pursuits. So I get the way to support that through community relations efforts and talking with businesses, chambers of commerce, civic organizations and groups, all of those that can become allies to support our mission, our vision, our values of the organization, and working together collaboratively to make our community an accepting community, but also be a part of the initiative for an accepting society. So it's a great job. With the addition now with advocacy, I see it as building the supports to create that accepting society. And so now I have an amazing team of advocates, and we just appointed one of the advocates as a senior advocate. So they supervise the team. I oversee the department along with my supervisor, Kevin Horgan, who oversees our government relations, my department of community relations, and now the advocacy department. So we get to align all of those departments of support along with now this great team of advocates. Chanel Davis is our new senior advocate that oversees the department. We've got an amazing team with Richard Marino, who's handling a lot of our data governance, engagement and outreach. Israel Cruz, who's handling our school initiative. Talking with schools, which you've helped me with.
Which, by the way, shout out to Izzy, by the way. Shout out to Izzy, including Chanel.
Yes. And Richard Hermanson, who's a big support to our administrative office here at Elmwood. And Karen Rito, who's out in Rochester region, who's making all of our engagement, outreach, and supports out there through our advocacy department. So it's an amazing team we've got.
I love Rochester. I've been out there a couple of times. So, with my first business.
Yes.
With a really good friend of mine, Shanita Wilson, by the way.
Hey, I haven't seen her in a while. Last time I saw her, we were what, on Delaware. It was a beautiful day. I do these ambassador tours. And so we had ended up on Delaware, and she was teaching, what was the dance? I can't remember. Well, we were out in the parking lot dancing. And we had a good time.
I love Shanita. I had to call her. So.
Yeah, tell her I said hi.
Yeah, I'm about to interview her on my podcast. So.
Oh, awesome.
Yes.
Yes.
Which, by the way, I will be talking about in my shout out a little bit later. So.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah, you were two of the amazing divas that were part of our ambassador initiatives. I remember that. That's how we all met.
Yeah, that's how we got together. Yeah. And speaking, shout out to Mr. Jim Jowsey for actually putting us together. So, yes. Shout out to Jim, by the way.
Oh, yeah. Big shout out to Jim. Love him.
He's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Including my cameraman.
Yeah.
So, he has a little bit of everything.
He takes care of business, doesn't he?
Yeah, that's why I got in the business, really.
Exactly. You take care of business.
I try to. So, what are your duties and responsibilities in your new role?
Yes. Most of my duties in this new role is we've combined our efforts. So community relations, where I started in these things, we're an initiative where we were inviting, I should say, not utilizing, but inviting our amazing employees at the agency, the spectacular people that are part of the delivery of services and that are there that we support and our employees will support. And also the families, our leadership, board of directors, everyone in there. Big shout out to Ann McCaffrey.
Oh yeah.
Our president, CEO.
Which you got to see that interview, by the way, because I got to interview her.
Oh, nice.
On my podcast.
Yes.
So, yes.
So part of that is we work in those initiatives of, like I said, the allyship. And so what we've done now in my role is we continue those efforts of ambassadorship. But we've created more inclusive opportunities through the advocacy efforts. So that means, we've got our advocates playing essential roles of engaging those allies. Like Israel Cruz we were talking about is now heading up a charge that Ann is really passionate about, and that's reaching our high school seniors.
Ooh.
So that, at that stage, they understand our organization's initiative of health and human service, but also the deeper aspects of all of our service deliveries, the opportunities there for them to be able to enhance their opportunities to grow in an organization like People Like, and gain valuable skills so they can, start out their initial career here. They can stay with that career at People Inc. They can continue their education if they wish to get advanced degrees and have a great job to support them, financially, with our tuition assistance and all those other initiatives we have. They can learn valuable skills, and it can take them anywhere and everywhere, even if they do leave the organization. But we have that draw to either bring you back in or keep you just because it's so fabulous here. And so that's one of my roles, to advance that initiative and continue that going. And I'm so grateful that our president and CEO, Mr. McCaffrey, had that confidence that we could do that together with the advocacy department, our community relations, government relations, through our public affairs department. So I'm really grateful that the duties have kind of grown, but they also have continued in what I've done over my career.
Oh. And I love Ann, by the way.
Yeah, me
She's
too.
really nice and sweet.
Yeah, she's fabulous.
Even though I miss Rhonda though.
Yes, funny story. So when I first got the job, I was initially working in direct support. I was working at one of our amazing group homes that we had out in the southern tier near Hamburg, Boston area. And I loved it there, and grew so much there, professionally, personally. It was so impactful to me. So the current president at the time was Dr. Jim Bowles.
I remember him, yeah.
And I remember going there. They used to have these regional parties, Christmas parties. And I had heard these rumors, don't, get too close up on Dr. Bowles, don't cramp his space, but he does love to engage. And I got there and I did all the wrong things. Cramped the space, all up on him, hugging him, telling him how much I loved the place and everything. And so a couple days later, and I'll be honest, I did have a few drinks that night.
Oh, boy.
I get a call at the group home. And my boss at the time, John Santinacino, tells me they want you at the headquarters. You got a call from headquarters, public affairs. That to me sounded so ominous. I was like, career job over. And I go and I meet who's become such he's a friend. He's my boss, but he's my friend, my brother, everything. Kevin Horgan is who I have to meet with. And he explains what public affairs is about. Explains to me that Dr. Bowles came to him and said, I met this guy. And I want you to talk to him about community engagement. He seems like the perfect fit for it. And so I met with Kevin. We found out we went to the same high school, same college, all these things. And then Kevin tells me, well, we got something going here, but you got to meet our boss for our department. And that was Rhonda. And so my second interview was with Rhonda. And I immediately fell head over heels for her and who she was. As you can tell now, some 20 years later, I got the job. But the first time, craziest thing, I come into North Forest. We had a little house next door where the public affairs department and the marketing department was, and grants and some other stuff. The museum was there then. And I come over to the main building. And who's in the front hallway?
Oh, boy.
But Rhonda. But I couldn't remember her name.
Oh, boy.
So, she immediately, you know how Rhonda is. And she's like, how are you, Brad? How you enjoying it? I'm like, yeah, good, hey, and how are you? Can't remember her name. And she's I'm Rhonda Frederick. I hired you for community relations. She got me good. She stuck me good with that one. But love her,
Yeah, I miss her. I know last time I got to see her, I think it was a couple of years ago at DD. I did not know she was going to be there.
Yeah.
And she was right behind me. I'm like, is that Rhonda?
You run into her in all these great places of the community. So I remember finally, and she was one of the initiatives towards our ambassador initiative. I mean, she was the one really that would get out there and do those things. And the nice thing about Ann she does the same.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
Ann will always come out with the school initiative. She came out to one of the high schools and talked to the students as well to join me.
Okay.
So she's got the same DNA ingrained in her that she loves meeting with everybody, loves supporting everyone. And there's just a great face to it as well. So, I say I've been blessed to have three of the most amazing leaders and to be able to have that kind of longevity, to see that, but also see that it's continued along in terms of all the wonderful folks that are a part of the People Link family.
I definitely agree because Ann came to my lunch party.
Oh, right.
For my book.
Yeah.
And I did not know. She was like the last person that came.
Uh-huh.
And I looked, I'm like, is that Ann?
You feel the same way. She gets me like that too.
And then she came over, but I had to come and I had to come and see for myself, And she said, I'm proud of you. I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
And that was my second book launch party too.
Yeah.
Last year. So
I haven't been blessed to hear you read off from the second book. I know I've heard the original Olivia the Bully readings that you did, like we did last week at the Spread the Word event.
That's because that's the first book. So I'm like, and Frank had jumped and loved the idea because I volunteered my services to read inside the book.
Yeah.
And I said, well, I should at least read the book.
Congratulations, though, on the second book as well.
Thank you.
I mean, that's amazing. Olivia the Bully has been impactful. I read it with my grandchildren when they were younger, when it first came out, and I got it from you.
Which, by the way, which I won't be mentioning right now, but I will be mentioning about in the shout out that I am working on a third book, by the way, in the process. So
Nice.
yes.
Yeah, go girl.
We're moving down the road.
Yeah. But that's the same thing. Ann does that with me on a lot of my initiatives. She'll pop up. She's just, got this busy schedule, but all of a sudden she'll pop up at these things. We've been working with some efforts on getting the word out through some of our local radio stations, and one of them is WUFO. So we're working with a salesman that's a coach as well. And so he works with covering the Buffalo Bills.
Ooh,
and
what?
so,
Well, I love the Buffalo Bills.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Buffalo Bills.
Shout out, big ups to our Bills.
Shout out.
But and so he would arrange through our relationship. And of course, Ann was at the meeting with the owner of one of the only minority-owned radio stations, Sheila Brown for WUFO. Big shout out to her. She and Ann met, talked, so we developed a little ad campaign of things through the support of our marketing department. Big shout out to Liz Kahn with our marketing.
Yeah, I love Liz Kahn.
Liz is amazing.
Hey, Liz.
Yeah.
How you doing, Miss Liz?
And so we had that relationship, and our salesperson is that coach. Got us this amazing young man. He was a rookie defensive tackle, Dwayne Carter, and he came out to our Orchard Park Day program about a couple of weeks ago. What an amazing person, but who pops up?
Oh, boy.
Ann. She said, what did she say? I needed to come out and meet our Buffalo Bill.
Okay.
So that's just her, that's just in her. And I love it.
I would love to meet the Buffalo Bills.
We're going to get you set. We're going to get you set. We might get him on here because they got a blog they're putting together.
What?
So we can.
I would love to.
There we go.
To Josh, I keep saying, Diz is my man, but I love Josh Allen.
Yeah, and you'll love Dwayne.
I miss my Diz though. But
Yeah. But you'll love Dwayne. He's an amazing young man.
Yes.
Out of Duke. His first year, but he's got a 4-year contract. And of course, we need that help on defense. That's what everybody's talking about.
So it's bad enough I find out that Von Miller just got released. I'm like, really?
Yeah.
They just got him.
So.
Meanwhile,
yes.
I got Durant. Sorry for cutting you off.
No.
We go off topic.
I know. We can talk all day.
You got that right.
Yeah, we can go all day.
Now, where are we? Oh, we're talking about the broadcasting. I forgot.
Yes.
What type of broadcasting did you major in?
Yes. So I had majored in English at Morehouse, and when I came back to Buffalo, I went to Big shout out to, it was at the time Buffalo State College, now Buffalo State University. And so I started there working on my master's to get into communication. So I started in the broadcasting department, received a bachelor's in the broadcasting department, and crossed that over into a multidisciplinary communication studies program through University of Buffalo and Buff State. And that's where I got my master's in that, studying alternative media streams, similar to what you're doing now, and how that can impact and empower others to grow. So that was my thesis that I worked on at the time. But I also did broadcasting news gathering studies, and I ended up going into, after getting my master's, with a short stint selling appliances, I ended up being on faculty as a lecturer in the broadcasting department at Buffalo State, which was another amazing journey.
That is actually my alumni. I went to Buffalo State.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Go ahead, Bengals. Go Bengals.
I graduated in 2005.
Yes.
Before I went to City Cap.
All right.
Because I went to City Cap.
I remember
after that.
You were at City Cap. Yeah.
So yes, that is my alumni. Actually, my old advisor that used to work there actually had to hook up and hook me up with my book, and she blew up this whole poster and everything with my
that's
picture
how it got going.
The book.
Wow.
When she heard I had a book out, she said, "Oh yeah, we got to have you come and sell the book." I'm like, what?
Goodness, I remember that journey you were on. Yeah. I was here at that time when you got all that going. But I mean, wow, what a connection.
Yeah. And I'm so happy you mentioned about broadcasting.
Yes.
Because I will be mentioning about it in my spotlight about our media group that we are about train. So that will be in my spotlight. So
absolutely. Big shout outs to anybody in those broadcasting areas. Jim working in this area with you and all. Yeah, I lectured in that. I had worked on, and I actually did a short stint working for one of the media outlets, Channel 7, as a news gatherer there. So a lot of great experience and life experience that I've been involved in.
That's good. Yeah. And I love Channel 7. They actually interviewed me a couple of times for a Word Down Syndrome Day.
Yes, okay.
Yes.
You're great, you're a great spokesperson in terms of all the initiatives and what's going on. So thank you for doing that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
One reporter actually came to the house and interviewed me and my grandmother.
Oh.
Justin Moore.
Okay.
Yeah, before I think before he had left, because he had left as well. So yes.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, I owe a lot to that experience, and that it helped me understand the process of working with media to engage and do that. And that's what my studies were about, in terms of looking at systems and streams that can be alternative to those main media systems. Oh. So shows like you're doing, when they used to have public access, and they still use a lot of public access and those types of mediums. And now having these types of resources, people can put together their own shows, start different things in different ways to empower. And I think that's the important thing with shows like yourself. You're empowering others to have a voice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And it's really, my show, I like to empower men and women, but it's really geared to women, really. So, because I like to empower women.
It's Women's History Month as well as.
Yes, it is. Shout out to my women, my ladies. Yeah. I will be having a women's panel technically on my podcast. So,
that's going to be awesome.
I cannot wait. I got to get a couple more women friends.
Yeah. So, make sure you touch base with my amazing senior advocate, Chanel, if you need.
Well, I did talk to her about it because I will be interviewing her on my podcast. So, just her.
Shout out to you, marvelous women.
To her business. So yes. Okay. I was going to ask you what kind did you go to, but you already told me already, so I don't have to ask you that question.
All right.
So now I'm always about positivity on my show.
Yes.
So I got not one but two. I got an affirmation and I got a quote because I know you was lovely, Brad.
Let's do it.
Okay. The quote is, movement is medicine. Because you know we always have to move.
Amen, sis.
You got to keep it moving.
Got to keep it moving.
As Michelle Obama would say, keep it moving.
Yes.
So
yes.
I follow her. So keep it moving. And the affirmation that I wrote, create time for yourself to unwind.
Mm-hmm. Self-care.
Yes.
Self-care. Gotta have it.
Yes. Gotta have some self-care.
Yes,
I do that every time.
Me too.
So I do a self-care night. So for myself, I put the phone away and I watch something on my Roku TV. So yes.
Awesome.
No, I guess I always have positive something, but this time I do not have my positive energy corner on the show right now, so I will be bringing that back in the next episode.
All right.
Including, I will be bringing back my good vibes only song as well.
Ooh, love good vibes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
We always say it, man, well. Vibes only. We even got a shirt that says Happy Vibes Only.
Ooh, I love it.
Yeah.
That's a great one. Great one. Happy vibes only.
But I do have an affirmation for my good vibes only as well, too. Which is drink more water.
Got to stay hydrated.
You got, because we do not want you to be dehydrated.
Yeah. And we're getting into warmer temps now, so you
got
know
right.
You got to have it.
Drink, even though it's cold, but drink water even though it's cold out.
Yep.
All right, now I do a little bit of spin on this, but I'm going to ask you this question first.
Sure.
About positivity.
Okay.
So, what you do in general in your life in a positive way?
I like your what you just mentioned in terms of some of those positive things. I start my day out with prayer and devotion. And I spend my time in a quiet place and space. I read some things on a positive level of increasing my faith. And I drink water while I'm doing it. I start out just doing that. Yep. I had that and a couple cups of coffee, of course. But yes, and that's how I start my day out. And then I come out ready for the world. And I move on in places and spaces that I try to never bring anything but positive energy. I try to never leave anything with negativity, and that's why I always engage people with a hello. And I see where that takes me with that.
Idea.
And that's my engagement option. And a smile. Nice.
Now, it's a good thing I said that, and it's a good thing you mentioned about negativity. Which, by the way, I do drink water.
Yes.
I'm just going to say that.
Yeah.
I drink electrolytes as well, too.
Oh, got it. Yeah, that's important.
Because I am fasting.
Oh, yeah.
For weight loss.
Okay.
So that's why I drink electrolytes.
All right.
Yes. Intermittent fasting, I do. So.
You know, I looked at some of those studies of that. How you can look at how the body does. While I'm doing that morning devotion, I'm usually fasting, and then I break that fast. But I just came off a 40-day.
Oh, you did?
But I do it more on a spiritual level of that first 40 day to start the year out. But I've studied the intermittent for a lifestyle change. So, you know, taking off more in terms of so many processed sugars or processed foods and things like that. So I like that. That's something I'm starting myself this year.
I've been doing it for 7 months.
Way to go.
About to be a year in July.
Oh, man.
Thank you.
So you're an inspiration to me then.
Yes, actually, Noelle was the one that told me about it. But I looked it up because I have lupus. I was diagnosed with lupus a couple years ago. And I'm like, well, let me... diets were all right, but they really did not work.
Right.
So I'm like, well, let me look it up and see if I can find anything that I can do with lupus-wise. So I looked it up to see if there was a fasting for people with lupus. And intermittent fasting was actually the thing that popped up. I'm like, oh, okay, well, let me try it out. I did my research and everything, and I find that it's good for information, and and the whole body and everything, brain function and everything. So
Yeah.
that's why I did. I tried one first. I talked to my doctor about it before I went to Atlanta. 'Cause I
All
went
right.
to Atlanta last year.
Love the
I got some
ATL.
good advice about going. So.
Worst traffic, but great place.
yes. And I've been doing it ever since. I'm actually doing it today. I'm doing 19 hours.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, keep up the good work. Like I said, your inspiration to me. I'm just starting to make that shift of that kind of change in terms of my life. I used to be an avid workout and athlete and everything, but all the athletic times are starting to seem to catch up with me now in my older age. And so I've got to kind of change that regimen of my workouts, my diet, and all those types of things. So I'm working on it. So I may be calling you for inspiration when I feel like falling off the
It's
wagon.
been working because I just found out last week that I lost 3 pounds.
You look fantastic, but
thank you.
always look fantastic.
I try to, so yes. I got to look a little fancy for my show. Okay,
All
thank
right
you.
now.
Okay.
Oh, I've always been a big fan.
Thank you. The reason why I ask you this question, and it's good that you mentioned about being negative, is because I came up and I did a spin, and I'm like, well, I'm going to create a corner that's called Bitter Pill. I'm like, I always be positive, so this time I'm doing a little spin on it. So I got Bitter Pill, and I've been asking people, how do you deal with negative people? So, Brad, how do you deal with negative people?
Well, I kind of make sure that I embrace what I'm trying to do, and that's I never try to leave a situation worse than it is or create a situation that can be negative. And so that's why I usually, like you said, I do that hello with a smile, and sometimes in the response of saying hello to somebody, you can ask them how they're doing, and then you've got to be ready in terms of what that response will be. So a lot of times, and of course in this society, people are a little bit stressed. Some will reveal to you how they're feeling, which you can then engage them in a way of, trying to be supportive, encouraging to them. Others may respond in ways that they may not say anything to you. They may look at you funny. They may do something. But I always continue that smile and I let them continue on in their day. But I don't enhance that by bringing any other negatives into it.
About that,
like, what's wrong with you? What's your problem? Or anything like that. I just continue my smile and tell them have a good day and keep moving on. I think it's important for us to be those that encourage, enhance, and spread love. And I think a lot of times if we confront at that immediate area, I think it just, like you said, becomes that bitter pill that continues to grow. But you never know where that impact of just that smile and that greeting to someone could take them through the rest of their day. And if you do come back, maybe you've made it a little bit easier for them to cope. And if you've got the tools and something to encourage them in the response they may have or ways they have, I say that's a much better pill to come out with some love.
Well, see, that's the reason why I named it Bitter Pill.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
That's right.
Yes.
That's right. There you go. Yeah.
And I do the exact same thing, except there are a lot of people that I know that are very negative. And I think, Angelic, I have to talk to myself. Angelic, don't do nothing. Just be cool, calm, and collective.
Yeah.
So I've been kind of cool. So I'm not stressing out.
Yeah.
Sometimes I do. Because of getting my lupus, I'll be stressing out. No.
Yeah.
And then I walk away.
It's a process.
So, yeah.
Yeah, it's a process. I mean, I wasn't always that way. I mean, I didn't get to 60 without having some experiences. So it's like, I used to be a pretty hothead and used to be different things, but I've learned to adapt and to grow, gain, by the blessings of God that I've been able to, gain some wisdom and try to impart that to my family, my grandchildren, to my community. I serve as a community chaplain, so I I have the experiences that I can lean towards other people that may be going through certain things at times, and that's one of the great things that I love here at the organization of People Inc. is that there's so many wonderful servant leaders on all sides of the spectrum of our agency that's supported, as well as our leadership. And so we've got some amazing servant leaders like yourself, Jim, so many people that are around me, and that's what keeps my energy up.
That's a good thing. And I always say, leave it to God.
Amen to that.
I am a church going girl.
Yeah, me too.
I haven't been a parent in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I just talked to a really, she was my advisor, young adult advisor yesterday.
Okay.
She actually wants to feature me in my second book, actually on the fifth Sunday of this month.
Yeah.
She wanted me to actually not read it, but just talk about it and my process and what I do and stuff like that with my book. So yes.
You know,
so
that's an amazing thing in processing things. That's what I love about your book and the series now of these books, because it addresses real things, but it addresses it in ways that can come across on so many different levels, especially our younger folks. I love the animal aspects. I got an opportunity to be with you and Noelle. Big shout out to Noelle.
Yeah, big shout out to Noelle, by the way.
Hey. But yeah, when you guys came to one of the grade schools in Buffalo, when you were reading and stuff, and I love all the different characters and the animals and all the different things, but the reality of things that many face, you know.
Well, that's part of the reason why I asked them before I even get to reading, like, what do bullying mean to you?
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know the second one I'll be asking, like, what do respect mean to you?
Mm.
Because, the second one is based on respect.
Yeah.
And manners, and how to be polite to yourself, so.
I like that.
And they have some pretty good, some pretty good answers, too, when I ask that question. So,
I think that's amazing because right there you're talking about not only the aspect of those being bullied, but what is it with the bully about themselves that they feel that they should bring harm or, bother someone else.
And with Olivia, I actually put it through her eyes. You don't really see, you see the first part of, what do bullying mean to you? But with Olivia, I did do the bully's eyes. That's what I did.
Nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Phenomenal.
Okay, and then with the other one, she has another antagonist with her in the second book.
Okay.
So it's not just her.
Okay.
It's also somebody else too.
Mm-hmm.
Judy Tiger.
So, okay.
Yeah, so having her antagonist along with her. Yes. So, and I ask the kids, like, what your favorite zoo animal, because I have zoo animals in the book. So, yes. And Olivia is a bunny. My zoo animal is a rabbit. That's the only reason why I mentioned about that.
And they got, yeah.
Yes.
You see rabbits all the time. You think they're docile around and everything, but Olivia
jumping all over the place.
Yeah, all over the place.
So meanwhile, back at the ranch, since you mentioned about broadcasting and media, I was spotlight about that. So calling all content creators, there is a media group that I am a part of. Which is called Stream Advocacy. Our group is a media group for any media, like podcasts, radio, video, including YouTube channel. So you can, I don't know where my business card is, but I'll just tell y'all, if you want to contact us to join us, you can. We have an email address, which is Stream Advocacy. WNY@gmail.com. It's STREADVOCACY WNY.com. We would love for all of you to come and join us. and tell the group that your girl sent y'all.
All right. Looking forward to it. I'd love to be a part of it.
I knew my cameraman over there would be happy for me to say that. So you know how to put that out there, okay? And I do have a newsletter that I will be talking about in my next episode. But I'll just tell you what it's called, which is actually Engelic Everything. I will be talking a little bit of everything in my newsletter, so including Olivia, my show, and my podcast, including a couple of articles as well too. So
awesome.
So I've been working on that, so it's almost done.
Yeah.
Now I got a shout out. I always have to have a shout out, so I want to make a shout out. The Angelic Everett Show is going audio now on my friend Lee Hotlib streaming service.
Know he lead?
Yep. Yes. Which is Advocacy Radio Live 365. It's actually my show will be airing on Wednesdays and Fridays at 8 p.m.
Awesome.
Yes. You can also go to his website, howtobusyradio.com, or go to the app, Live 365.
All right.
It's pretty awesome, by the way. I've been on it, so.
Way to access, yeah. People can access.
By the way, I've got my very own unique podcast, which is called, which I just renamed it, which is called Positive Chat Podcast. You know, I'm all positive on my show. I gotta be more positive on my podcast. So, and it is Women's Month, so I will be having a women's panel on my podcast this month. So,
I like that.
Including disability awareness as well too.
Yeah. A lot of stuff to recognize this month.
Thank
you.
You know how to put that out there now.
Disability awareness. Yeah, that's awesome. And it's good to have platforms like this, podcast, and so I know you're inspiring so many others to get involved in this opportunity to be on your show and start their own.
On different platforms too. iHeartRadio, Spotify, Pandora, and so much more.
Wow.
Thank you.
All right.
I have a lot of guests on there too, so I'm bringing some guests like Chanel. I got Chanel on there. I'm going to be actually interviewing her.
That's so cool.
On her business, her lip gloss business. So.
It's gonna be so cool.
Yes, I'm happy about that.
I got a lot of women in the family, so I have to patronize the business.
And you got you do.
Yeah, I got the wife, daughter, got a granddaughter. Sisters, 2 sisters.
What?
Yeah, a lot of women in my life.
Well, that's how they got to spread the love.
Spend a little money, get them some lip gloss.
Now I'm all over social media, so you can follow me. Now you can do not forget to use Engelic Everett Show 2.0 to like me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram at The Engelic EE Show. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, Engelic Everett Show 2.0. Or go to my website, angelicshow.com. I'm trying to just make sure I got everything. I got a throwback zone in my show. In this zone, you can either watch older episodes of my show or listen to some throwback episodes of my podcast as well. So let me know, and your girl can hook y'all up. This has been another episode of the Engelic Everett Show. I am your host, Engelic Everett. Now I want to thank my special guest and amazing friend. Thanks, Brad.
Hey, thank you. Always pleasure hanging out with you, Angelique.
I'm Angelique, and I'm rocking it.